Earlier today, Liverpool beat Fulham at Craven Cottage by 3 goals to 1 to keep their slim hopes of a Premier League title this season alive. In this video, I wanted to speak about the team selection and why it worked, the importance of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and which Liverpool players are worrying me at the moment. This is the most changes that Jurgen Klopp has ever made from one Premier League game to the next, and I think it was about energy, especially in midfield. Liverpool's most important offensive and defensive asset, which I've mentioned before, is their press, so a weary midfield, regardless of personnel, is just a no-go. Cody Gakpo on recent performances probably deserved to start, and Diogo Jota is arguably our most reliable goal scorer. So having these two come in for a misfiring Darwin Núñez and a severely out of form Mohamed Salah did make sense, especially with another Premier League game coming up during the week. I understood the reasoning for the changes, but I must admit that I was worried about the midfield in particular when the teams were announced. I expected a much tougher game today. Fulham are like a bag of rebels in that you never have any idea what you're going to get from them. But today they did look like a team that weren't playing for much. They won't finish in any European places and they're not in danger of getting relegated. Sometimes that can result in teams playing with a bit more freedom, but Fulham really weren't up to much today, which has to be taken into account. Trent Alexander-Arnold, what a player. I think we've seen this season that we can cope without the likes of Alisson and Mohamed Salah, but we're a completely different side when Trent plays. I think he was arguably the best player in the Premier League before he got injured, and just like Atalanta midweek, Trent was the only player today that you felt like was consistently trying to take the game to Fulham and really make things happen. He'll rarely top the pass success statistics similar to the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. He plays such a high volume of high-risk passes, but his ability to create chances is unmatched in this team. His free kick just after the 30-minute mark was a strike of real quality, and he created the clearest chance of the first half, the headed chance that Luis Diaz squandered. I wanted to talk a little bit as well about Liverpool's ever-changing midfield and the much-changed midfield that we saw today. 3 completely different midfielders than we saw against Atalanta, and only Endo survived from last week's defeat to Crystal Palace. There was a real lack of forward thinking, play and quality at times in the midfield, but the energy was there, which is arguably the most important aspect of a Jurgen Klopp midfield, like I alluded to earlier in the video. Most of the chances that we created today actually came from passes from our defenders. That's one of the benefits of playing such a high line. It reduces the distance between the back line and the forward line, allowing the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Jarell Quansah, Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold to bypass the midfield with their passing. Trent, in particular, can kill teams with his passing from just inside his own half. I thought Ryan Gravenberch really struggled today before his well-taken goal. I'm still not convinced he's good enough, but I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. He is only 21 and he hasn't played a whole lot of football in the last couple of years. He seems to want to drive forward with the ball at every opportunity, and he rarely influences the game with his passing or with his runs from midfield. He seems to want to stay behind the ball, and his first thought when he gets it is to dribble. Hopefully with the right coach he can develop, but the links to Galatasaray that have surfaced in the last couple of days they're a tad worrying. Perhaps there's an appreciation that he is not going to be good enough. I'm probably in the minority here, but Endo for me just isn't good enough, and I probably have just upset a lot of people. He's been quite consistent and reliable for us, but I don't think he exerts much of any influence on games of football. He gives away cheap foul after cheap foul. He's super low risk with his passing. He's not press resistant at all, as we saw again at times today. And I don't think he's necessarily great at sniffing out danger, which is the job of a City midfield player. When you play in that position for Liverpool, you do have to be comfortable passing the ball between the lines. Whoever is manager next season, I do think they'll want a top-class number 6 to anchor that midfield. I think that's all I wanted to say on today's game. I did have one eye on the penalty shootout in the FA Cup semi-final, so I wouldn't say I was as locked into the performance as I usually would be. So feel free to pick me up on anything noteworthy that I missed. On that, please do let me know what you agree or disagree with in this video. I'll always respond to the comments, and while you're here, please do give the video a like and subscribe for more football related content. Thanks for watching.